pop up in the corner and stuff.
Sorry.
Too late. I
I'm
haven't
pretty
got the
sure I did.
script.
You have got a script. Hey.
Hey, and welcome to today's special Black Friday live Q&A. I'm Katie Keith, founder and CEO at Barn2.
And I'm Sam, the resident YouTuber, and I'm celebrating 3 years of working at Barn2 today, which is a happy coincidence. Yeah. Of course, the other big news today is we're going to tell you all about our Black Friday sale. So do you have anything else before we jump straight into that, Katie?
Yeah, so today is the first day of our only sale that we do each year, Black Friday, and we're doing 40% off everything with the coupon code BF2025. That is at the top of our website, so you can't lose it. But in addition to that, for the first time ever, we're offering even more to people who watch our live stream. And that offer is that you can get a free Barn2 plugin of your choice just by taking part in this live stream and our sale. I'll explain exactly how it works at the end, so you have to keep watching and stay tuned.
All right, awesome. So that's the quick note before we start. But in general, if you are watching this stream live, please leave us a comment and tell us where you're watching from. We always love to see where people are in the world. And we'd love to get your questions, and we'd like to answer them live. We have a lot of pre-submitted questions, but if we get your live questions, we will also get to those as well when it makes sense in the stream with the relative to the plugin that we're talking about. So, because we kind of move from topic to topic. So just bear with us while we do that. Okay. So that's basically the intro, but we have a few things like news-wise. So there was, oh yes, we've added volume bundles to our WooCommerce Discount Manager plugin. Now, do you have a handy demo? Sorry, Katie, to put you on the spot for this.
I can do Discount Manager.
Thank you. Because I did not prepare the demo page for that. But basically, we have a Shopify app, and it's built around these bundles that we are, where you can sell multiple products at once for a discount. And this is what they look like. And now we've brought them over to our WooCommerce app, Discount Manager. So this is a great feature, and honestly something we didn't see around in the marketplace of different plugins for discounts. So yeah, we're one of the first WooCommerce plugins to bring this functionality into the open source WooCommerce world. Yeah, so that's one of the updates, and there's also an update to we mentioned the update to Document Library Pro last stream, didn't we?
Yep.
You and Amir did.
I know somebody that wasn't you did it for the first time, and he did really well. So you need to compete now.
I think it could be worth mentioning just quickly that Document Library Pro now has a plan which includes security in the actual plugin itself. So you don't have to have two plugins anymore in order to secure your documents. So we've titled them as Essentials and Advanced. And depending on what kind of organization you are and what level of security you need for your documents, you now just need one plugin, and you just choose which plan you want to be on.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning. It was a big update to our biggest plugin.
Mm-hmm.
So the next piece of news is our customer discount center. So usually we announce maybe 1 or 2 new deals a month, but somehow we've managed to negotiate 17 new discounts for our customers this month in our discount center. So basically, when you become a Barn2 customer, we send you a secret link to our customer discount center where you can get discounts off. Oh, let me check the number now. I'll share my screen so you can see it too. This is the public version of it where you can't see how to get the discounts, but you can see what the discounts are. Right, 87 discounts we have now with other WordPress products. So you can see like Astra there, for example. That's a huge theme. Advanced Access Manager is really handy for Document Library Pro users, particularly things to do with maintenance, hosting, all sorts of WordPress products by third-party companies that we know and trust, and it keeps growing. So you receive a link to the secret version of this page, which has an extra column with the discount codes when you become a Barn2 customer.
And it's probably worth noting that most of those companies will also have some Black Friday deals on nearly, maybe starting now or in a week's time, on actual Black Friday. So just something else to note. Never have to pay full price for getting started with a new plugin.
That is true, yeah. And the final piece of news is a quick recap on e-commerce day, which was in Porto, Portugal last weekend. 4 members of the Barn2 team went. I did a talk about what the world's top e-commerce stores get right and how you could achieve the same in WooCommerce. And if you would be interested to see that, then we will be posting a link to it on our website soon. It's going to be published on WordPress.tv any day now, so you can watch the talk there. We'll also put it in our next newsletter, so if you sign up for that, then we will be sending you a link too. So let's get started with the Q&A.
Absolutely. So the first pre-submitted question was about the Document Library Pro plugin. So Katie, do you have the demo ready, or would you like me to demo that?
I can do.
Oh, okay, sweet. We've had a busy day getting the sale started and launching everything all around the place. It's always a big busy time for us here at Barn2.
Okay, so this is our document library plugin. It basically provides a way to create any type of resource library in WordPress, which might be documents, but it might also be something completely different, like videos or audio or images or anything at all, really. So it's a very versatile plugin for listing all sorts of information. And I will show you different options for it. So first, this is our table view. We've got different filters that you can use to quickly narrow down the list of documents. You can use the search box, of course. You can preview documents in a different tab, or you can download them to your computer. You can watch audio and video directly in the document library. You can tick them and download them together as a zip file, so very flexible. And we also have 2 other layouts. We have a folder view, which is kind of like the file system on your computer, really. It is more popular with larger organizations that use it to build document libraries, like public sector and big companies, things like that. And we also have a grid view, which is popular for more visual types of resource, where you want big images or something like that, and a more kind of grid type layout. And we're also building some additional layouts which aren't released yet, but will be in the coming months. So we're always looking for new and different ways to display documents and resources. And you can either make a public document library, or you can create a private document library where people can enter a password or log into their account or something to unlock either parts of or your whole document library. Now, what questions have we got about this, Sam?
Yep. So the question was basically about bulk uploading. So in either the Document Library Pro or Post Table Pro plugin, and it will be different for these 2 plugins, what about the bulk uploads using CSV file? I have that ready to go, Katie, if you want to switch out.
Yeah.
All right. I don't wonder if I can crop out the window, but anyway. So this is the documents like tab when you add Document Library Pro. And if you have the advanced plan now, or if you already own the plugin before we change the plans, am I right? You get grandfathered in this functionality, right? Then you can use the drag and drop uploader to upload files from your computer, or you can actually use a CSV upload. And I'm actually going to demo how that looks. I have a file ready for this. So I'll just bring that up and show how it looks. This is from our sample. You can actually get a sample CSV and edit it yourself from our website. You can get a sample CSV and then edit it to add all your document parameters. and you can map to the field. So the name matches to name, categories to categories, and so on and so on. If your CSV doesn't have the column, then it won't map to anything. Or if the column is under a different name, you'll just have to match it. So if it just says URL, you'll have to look for it and through what's in your CSV. Oh, you can't see that. Okay. And then you just run the importer. Ooh, let's hide this question. There we go. And then you run the importer, and that will bring in all of the document fields that were in your CSV. So that's for Document Library Pro. Is there a CSV or mass import option for Post Table Pro? Because I think it just takes into account your posts.
Yeah, Post Table Pro is for displaying content already on your website, which could be any post type. So it doesn't do imports, but it works with all import plugins such as WP All Import, or just the default built-in WordPress importer that you get under Tools Import in the admin. But the CSV upload that we've provided in Document Pro is unique to Document Library Pro. So I mean, to be honest, you can do everything in Document Library Pro that you can do in Post Table Pro, except for other post types. They have to be the documents post type. So if you're happy to use the documents post type, then use Document Library Pro, I would say, if you need that bulk import feature.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So I hope that answers your question, Marty. And I see we have, okay, that we don't have any questions from the live chat just yet, but
they're very quiet actually, aren't they?
Give us a comment, guys, if you're watching.
People watching and nobody's left a comment yet, so go for it.
We're gonna get really offended soon, so yeah. But seeing as we have a few new people who joined the stream recently, I will just bring back up this banner that we have our sale live right now. You can get 40% off all our plugins with the code BF2025, and you can see the banner anywhere on our website when you visit any plugin page or anything, so you can't miss it. And use that code, get 40% off all our plugins. And stay tuned to the end of the stream to find out how you can also get a free plugin. This is what I wanted to say. So we'll be sharing the details towards the end of the stream about how you can also get some freebies as well. Okay. Now, moving on to our next questions, and actually our next plugin as well. We have a question about WooCommerce Product Options. I'll bring up a demo of that. So WooCommerce Product Options is one of our flagship plugins that can really do a lot in terms of personalizing different products. So let's just take, for example, this birthday cake here. On this product page, the plugin is adding a bunch of different fields, including a drop-down field, which is the default WooCommerce options type. But it also adds things like color swashes, image buttons, which can dynamically update the main image, text input fields, image upload fields, and with that image upload field, you can even get a live preview if you also buy product options with the live preview add-on. Should we try the photo thing? Who's got the best photo?
That's a weird example. Well, Andy told, my husband said, you really need to prepare an image to upload every month. You can't just keep adding random images from your uploads folder. So I have put the Barn2 logo, this little graphic thing, on my desktop if you want me to do it.
Well, that'll save me at least a few seconds, because I do have a folder specifically for live preview demos.
Very good.
But yeah, I'll let you take over and show off the live preview.
Okay,
so this is always fun.
Screen now. So we're going to upload an image from my desktop. It's going to be terribly professional, unlike most months where what we do is just see what's in our downloads folder and choose the most vaguely appropriate image. Oh, it's not working now. Oh, this one will work. Fine, it's going to be a Settery mug, not Barn2. That works. Settery, let's give it a plug,
Oh,
is
that
a
looks
bulk
good.
product editor for WooCommerce that we own 50% of the business, basically. So it's our partner company. So actually, that looks really nice. So I've uploaded the Settery logo. And if I go personalize, then I can choose how it will look on the mug. So this gray area shows the printable area. And then I can do various things, like I could rotate it if I wanted, I could resize it, and so on. And I could also add text to the mug if I wanted to, and do so basically create any combination of text and images, so long as it fits within the printable areas that I have defined.
And the pre-submitted question for product options, can it be set up as a multi-step or accordion so form choices are not too overwhelming? Yeah, this is an interesting question because we have something called conditional logic. And Katie's going to bring up a great example of that now. I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to hide the question so we can see the screen a little bit better. And so conditional logic it sounds fancy and complicated, but it's basically just if this, then that. If the answer is A, then do something like this. If the answer is B, do something else. And that's how conditional logic works. So Katie's demonstrating it here with the buttons. When you select an option, a new part of the product options list appears or disappears, depending on how you've set up the logic. So in theory, you could set up 5 steps, and each step would lead to a new step opening, and then you wouldn't see the fifth, the third step until you do the second, and you wouldn't see the fourth until the third, and so on and so forth. It would take a little bit of setup at first, but once you set it up once, you can just copy it over to as many different products and categories as you want. So it wouldn't be too terribly difficult. And on the back end, I think I can actually give a little quick demo of that. I'm pretty sure I have. It's under products, product options. Yeah, I can give a demo of something. Probably. Well, actually, I can show anything, and I can just I'll add a new radio button option here. So we have 1 and 2, and then down here, let's save those. Need to. Okay, save that first. Now, if I edit this and I go into the advanced settings, then, actually, I want to show the conditional logic for the second option.
Yeah, like
So,
if a particular radio
yeah.
button is ticked, then we show the file upload option, I think.
Yeah, so show if this matches, if button is set to 1. So only if somebody chooses the first button will the file upload area be shown. I know that's a little bit confusing, but show this option if this applies, button equals 1. And with the button, there's only 2 options. So in one case, it'll appear. In the other case, it won't. And that's how it works. Now, did we get a live comment finally? Ooh, we did.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the relevant knowledge base articles.
Nice one, nice one. Wendy says, I'm interested in the product filters plugin. Well, we're getting to that pretty soon along the way in this stream. But I use Divi with Woo. Okay, Divi with Divi. It's rarely cooperating with anything. Now, will product filters work on my Divi site? Well, Divi is one of our themes that we test all our plugins against, if I'm not mistaken, because it is a very popular theme, of course.
Yeah, it's one of our guaranteed compatible themes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean guaranteed easy, though, does it, Katie?
Yeah, it's fine, though. So this is a page from our knowledge base about compatibility of WooCommerce product filters with page builders. And so it says, oops, sorry, I've just clicked over the menu. It's fully compatible with Divi Builder. And so that means that when you create shop pages that list products with Divi, like maybe to replace your usual shop or category pages or something like that, then it works basically. But the main thing is you must use the provided product list and filters group Divi modules. So those are the modules you have to use to list the products on your Divi built page. And that's the ones that we have been able to make compatible. If Divi has other, I don't even know if it does have other ways of listing products, but if it did, then that wouldn't work because we would have said so. So those are the ones that it's definitely compatible with and that we guarantee.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the question, Wendy. All right. And with that, I think that was the only question we had about product options, which is very unusual because normally we have the majority of questions about that plugin. If you still have questions about any plugin we've already covered, you can, of course, still ask your question and we can get back to you during the stream. The next question is to do with our WooCommerce Product Tabs plugin. And you're welcome, Wendy, no problem. All right, so WooCommerce Product Tabs. This is a handy little plugin that you can put, no, I shouldn't say you can put, all WooCommerce product pages by default already come with the sort of default tabs of comment, description, reviews, maybe not description, I think,
Yeah,
reviews and
description, reviews, and possibly additional information, depending on whether you've added that information for your product.
But in reality, it's almost never enough with those default options. So our plugin takes it a step further, and you can create your own product tabs completely from scratch. So you can come up with the name. You can even add a little icon, and you can, of course, fill out the information. And these can also be, dynamically filled out. So it could be custom fields, or it could be related to some kind of query or something. And we have an interesting question about this from Rory. Rory asks, thinking about product tabs and an easy way to update the data labels. They have 3,000 plus UK newspapers and magazines with issue dates, etc., that change weekly. Now, I had a quick chat with Katie about this before the stream because it is an interesting question. It depends on what you need. If you are just talking about updating something that will be across all your products and it will be the same information every time you how should I say, the tab will be the same for all products, but we'll just need updating every week. That's easy. You just go into the tab, you edit it, and this will be reflected across all your products every time you edit it. And maybe you want to set up some automation so it's easier for you to do that. That's fine. But the more interesting question is how to do this if the text is sort of changing across many different products. And Katie, maybe you want to take over because you had a good solution for that.
Yeah, that's more complex if you've added your tabs to different products uniquely for that product. So basically, the product tabs are post data in WordPress and WooCommerce, just like anything else. So you can use something. I had a few ideas. One is that if the name of the tab is unique on your product, if you are only using that wording on like that particular date in that exact character combination on your website, then you could just use a search and replace. So there are free WordPress search and replace plugins. There's also hosting companies that offer that as a tool in the hosting admin. Search and replace can be dangerous because if you update something that's a text string that's used in ways you didn't anticipate, it can break things. But if you are absolutely certain that that exact text string is only used for the name of your product tabs, then you can use a search and replace. Alternatively, for more fine-grained control, you could get a developer to create a custom query or something like that. It would be relatively easy. We have a plugin customization service which could give you a quote for that, and it's not going to be a big project, but they could produce a custom query that you would run maybe like via a page in your WordPress admin or something if you don't want to actually go into the database, and that would do it for you as well. So and Rory has confirmed that every single product has a different name of the tab. So yeah, you need some kind of a bulk action, whether it's a search and replace or a custom query.
And if you don't know what that is, it's time to talk to a developer. Yeah. We have a number of great questions from viewers. If you don't mind, we can jump into those now, Katie.
Yeah, let's do that. So we've got Dave. So this is about WooCommerce Product Options that we just talked about. Dave says, I'm having trouble creating a product option and selecting a specific variable. Okay, Sam, could you go into the back end and show the variations option that we added maybe 6 months ago, where you can select an existing product variation instead of creating the option directly?
Okay, so this would be a product, yeah?
No, I don't mean the products type. Radio buttons is fine. So see choice type at the bottom.
Oh,
there.
okay, yeah.
So
Using
that's the one I
existing
mean.
variations. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Sorry, I thought you
instead
were
of
talking about,
creating,
yeah.
yeah, it's not the products option. So instead of creating the radio buttons uniquely in our plugin, you're actually selecting existing product attributes and variations to display using our plugin, because variations only appear as drop downs. You might want to use the styles in our plugin to display actual product variations. So Sam has just selected that, and it's pulled through all of the variations for that product. It would be useful to know what exact problem Dave is having, so that we can think, is it a usability question or like that we can help with, or is it maybe a bug that our support team needs to get involved in? But the way it should work is that you select the attributes, and that will then pull through all of those attributes. But the key thing to know is that each product page will only show the attributes that are used for variations on that product. So let's say that Sam has added this variation, these radio buttons to all the products in the whole store, which use that attribute, like color, for example. Well, each item will only show the options for the color that are assigned to that item, if that makes sense. It's never going to magic up variations that don't exist. So it does that centrally without overriding your variations. But to know what the trouble is, we need more information.
Right. So in this case, it would only show the white color, because this particular t-shirt only has the white color as a variable set up on this product. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So even though in the back end we just saw loads of colors pull through because they were added as global attributes, they would not show on this particular product because it only has a white one.
Yeah, I'm hoping people can see my screen clearly. If there were more colors here based on my global attributes, then the plugin, our plugin, would show those on the front end, and you'd be able to, edit the color swashes and make sure that they match what you want. All right. So great question. Thank you very much. That was from Dave. And are you ready to jump into the next question from Janessa?
Yep. So get rid of your screen. And so Janessa says, I'm adopting a web page with some existing plugins and expanding functions. Always a challenge. I have a B2B catalog of various products, each with bulk pricing. They have a different discount rules plugin, and we want to add the product table to the product pages instead of the variable drop downs. If I use the product table, will it A, work with the other discount plugin, and B, take over the add to cart option and move that to the table instead? Now, I think that you need our WooCommerce bulk variations plugin. Let's show you that now. So it's WooCommerce Product Table, which we're going to demonstrate later, is for displaying multiple products at once, like on your shop page, for example, or a standalone order form page, perhaps. Whereas WooCommerce Bulk Variations is about displaying variations on the product page. So think Product Table is multiple products. Bulk Variations is replacing your variation drop downs, which is exactly what Janessa has described. So here we have WooCommerce Bulk Variations, where if you use default WooCommerce, we would have two drop downs here, one for color and one for size. But instead, our plugin has replaced it with a grid of variations, just like Janessa is describing, which is basically a table, but we say grid so it doesn't sound confusing with our other plugin. We're also using it with WooCommerce Product Options for this file upload, so you can ignore that for now. But yes, to answer the second part of the question, it does overtake the Add to Cart button. So you can see as I'm selecting quantities, it is updating the amount here, and then you click Add to Cart. So it has replaced the quantity picker, the variation drop downs, and the Add to Cart button that you get with default WooCommerce. The second part of the question was about whether it will work with the other discount rules plugin. My guess, without having tested it, is that when you select these quantities, you will not see the bulk discounts reflected. That is how generally it works. But when you add them to the cart, you will see those quantity-based discounts in the cart. That is typically how a quantity-based discount plugin works with bulk variations. Now we have our own WooCommerce Discount Manager plugin, which currently does exactly what I just described. It does not update the quantities with the discounts, but we are actively working on that as a priority because a lot of customers have told us how important that is. So if you can convince your client to switch over to WooCommerce Discount Manager with bulk variations, then soon you will be able to actually see the discounted prices as you select quantities.
Mm-hmm. There was a second part to the question. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, see. Can you show more about the product filter for variable products? Context: we sell racks which come in different sizes of the same design. Mm-hmm.
Well, we're actually coming to product filter next, aren't we? So before we
Yeah, we
answer
are.
that, shall we introduce the plugin and then we'll pay particular attention to the variable side of things?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I have the demo up here. So let's bring that online. So our WooCommerce Product Filters plugin is a, how should I say, fully functional product filtering plugin. And you can filter all kinds of different attributes. And even, is there such thing as custom attributes you can filter with?
Well, it's
Or my
global attributes.
global
Custom
attribute?
attributes are added per product, which don't work with filtering, but global
Yeah.
attributes do. And you can,
So you can
you're
see
thinking
here.
custom taxonomies, aren't you? And custom fields,
Yes,
which
yes.
you can do. Yeah, that's all
Custom
supported.
taxonomies. So there's search option. You can search by how many stars, how well rated the product is. You've got all these kinds of different options. Obviously, I can just choose one like this. And it has Ajax, so you can have the page loading when a filter is clicked, just like that, nice and quick. So people can start to filter down based on their preferences. And the filters can be displayed at the top of the product page or on the side in a kind of widget format like this. And if they've been loaded like that, then you can press clear and reset them. So yeah, many different ways to display filters, many different attributes that can be filtered, and it can work with large stores with thousands of SKUs. So let's jump into Janessa's follow-up question about this plugin. So for variable products, what we're thinking about is, in terms of variable products using our product options plugin or variable products using the variations within WooCommerce, I think that would create a slight difference
Well,
in how the filtering works.
let's assume they're variations, whether they're
Yeah.
displayed using our product options plugin or not, doesn't matter. So they're
Mhm.
product variations, and we want to be able to filter by size.
Yeah, so this is a size, this is one way to display size. So you have the actual text labels. Another way to display size would be with the checkboxes. So you could also have, theoretically, this, instead of being different categories, it could also be different sizes. Or with a drop down, although I think that that's kind of an inferior way to do it. Yeah, so if it's the same product, like if it has the same name, like the Yeti cabinet, and then within that you would have your different sizes, I think it wouldn't matter too much how it's done. I
Yeah.
would probably need to know more about the actual setup of the products to see how to do it best with the filters. But yeah, I mean, the short answer is it's not that difficult to set up. Maybe we should demo how the filters are set up on the back end.
Yeah. Are you in there?
Not right now, but I think I can find it pretty easily. Oh, it depends if I
Oh, I'll
have
find
it,
it.
yeah, open. If I have the plugin or not, that would take too long to figure out.
I'll just go into the demo
Mhm,
back end. So
mhm,
we want to go to products filters. And
mm.
here we've got various filters. So let's go into the ones that this is the right
You
hand
can show
column
your
that
screen
Sam
now.
was just. Oh, am I not sharing? Oh, sorry, I'm showing
There
you
we
all the
go.
navigation. You can't
Uh-huh.
see it. Yeah. Okay. So this is the right-hand widgets that Sam was just looking at, but what it looks like in the back end. So let's go to the size one, which happens to be the label style. But as you can see here, we've selected to filter by attribute, which is used for variations. And you can select a specific attribute here, which will appear. So in this case, we've selected size. If you're feeling really clever, you can show filters for all available attributes. And that means that depending on what page of the shop the customer is on, different filters will appear depending on what attributes apply to the products on that current page. So that can save you a lot of time. So if say your shoes category has a filter called heel height, and your t-shirts category has an attribute filter for sleeve length or something like that, then you can just do this one, show filters for all available attributes, and it will automatically add the relevant variation attribute filters. But here we've selected size, and then for style, we've chosen labels, which is the kind of text cloud type thing where the name of it appears in a little rectangle, but we could have chosen any of these. Can you see what I'm hovering over, Sam?
I could see before, but it was, yeah, now I can see, but I
Yeah.
can't see
Okay.
the list. I can't see the drop down list.
Oh, you can't. Okay. So the
Yeah.
style options are drop down, check boxes, radio buttons, labels, images, and a range slider. So for certain types of size slider, you might want customers to be able to select, well, I want between 50 and 100 centimeters or something.
Mhm.
And then they can actually select this low and high point on the range. So that's quite an innovative way of allowing them to select for certain types of size.
Mhm. And Janessa says, "Cool. All right." And also,
Excellent.
Dave was saying, gives me a few things to look at. And I just want to say at this point here, if you're thinking about buying a plugin with our discount, but you're worried about this whole, giveaway thing that we've been teasing, don't worry. If you want to buy a plugin, it's still going to work. Okay. We'll explain more at the end, but don't hold off if you're just not sure about this whole giveaway thing. If you buy a plugin, we'll explain more how it works, but that's not going to stop you from getting the giveaway. Okay. Just wanted to clarify that in case people were waiting till the very end of the stream to buy a plugin.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think we should carry on with product filters now, because
Mhm.
we've got another live question from someone who wants to know about the privacy side of things for our protection plugins, which we're coming to a bit later. So let's finish off
Mhm.
filters and then we'll
Nice.
naturally get to that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a pre-submitted question. Comes in two parts. We have over 10,000 products on our website, and it's a mess. Well, thanks for being honest. The categories, tags, and attributes are all over the place. Using your Product Filters plugin, can we create new attributes to filter the products? We do not want to delete any of the prior information. Yeah, that's a biggie. What do you think,
the
Katie?
answer is yes.
Yeah.
As we just saw, you can select any attribute to display as a filter. So you just create a global attribute under a product's attributes, and then you apply it to the relevant products, which you'll need to use something in bulk for if you've got
Our bulk
10,000.
plugin does that.
Yes, you have to use Settery, which I put the logo of on a mug earlier in this live stream. So yeah, you need to apply this relevant attributes to 10,000 products. You're probably going to want a bulk editor. So I would recommend Settery.com for that. It's not a Barn2 plugin, but we are partners in the Settery business, so we know it's good. And that's the easy way to add that new attribute to all your products. And then you can create a filter for just that one attribute without all your messy ones appearing as filters.
Nice one. Yeah, so nice, simple question. Just takes a little bit of time to set up, obviously, with 10,000 products and probably more SKUs than that, I'm guessing. How do people get into this? I'm looking at starting my e-commerce journey with like three products. Like, okay, let's start with something simple.
Yeah. Not everyone starts simple, do they? But also it's about your use case. Like if it's B2B or something like that, then you might end up with a lot of products. So let's go to WooCommerce Product Table now. So I'm on the wrong page for some reason. So I will go on to the correct demo before I share my screen. That is better. Okay. So WooCommerce Product Table, list your products in a table, which is basically a quick order form. So you might notice it looks kind of like our document library. That's not a coincidence. We started with a generic table plugin, and then we found out how important it is for people to list documents in a table and products separately. But this product table is different to document library because it's all about e-commerce. So here we've got the most important column, the buy add to cart column, where you can select quantities, you can select multiple products, you can quickly add them to the cart, you can choose variations and all sorts of things that you can't normally do on the shop page or category page in WooCommerce. Normally you have to go to a separate page for every product in your store to do this kind of thing. So that's why product tables can be such a huge conversion booster. And in addition to that, you can see there's a lot of information displayed about the products, like the short description. I'll go to an even better example, I think, where we've got things like the SKU visible. You can show the stock, you can have attribute columns, all sorts of stuff that you can't display on the default shop page in WooCommerce. So if people are buying products based on data rather than based on nice, massive, pretty images, then product table is often a good way to go. So what questions do we have about this?
Right. Well, the first pre-submitted question is adding custom items to product tables. I have a demo of the back end of how you edit a table. So I'll just bring that up. We'll remove you. There we go. So this is the table editor in the back end. And so once you've already created a table, this is what you'll see when you want to edit it later on. If you're creating it for the first time, it'll walk you through a kind of quick setup guide, and you'll still have a lot of the same options, but this is how it looks. So this is the columns section, and right now I have the column set up: image, name, summary, price, total, and buy. But what if I want to add something else? Well, unfortunately, you won't see this list that I'm clicking on because of the way that the screen sharing.
Why does it do
that? It's probably because I'm not sharing my whole screen. I'm just sharing the window.
Oh, interesting.
But I will just bring up a few interesting ones for you to consider. So this one is called dimensions. There's one called materials. And what are these? EU shoe size. These are custom, should I say, taxonomies?
They could be attributes. They could be
attribute.
custom taxonomies. It could be a custom field. We don't know.
Right. These are all kinds of custom things that I have set up for my e-commerce site. Like when I was setting up a product page for a video, I wanted EU shoe sizes, which are different to American shoe sizes. They have big numbers like 40, 42, or 44. I think I'm size 43 EU. But I'm only size 10 US. So there's big difference in the numbers. Anyways, so I created EU shoe size as like an attribute, and I filled in all of the numbers from there. So that is how you can create and add custom items to your table. And I don't have any advice about adding custom products because the products would just have to be within the different categories for them to be in the table. And you can set up your table specifically to include wait, where does it where do you set up which
that
thing?
one's displaying automatic. You've got Wholesale Pro installed, so it's displaying it in the wholesale area. If you change the display option to add to a page using a block or shortcode above, then you could choose exactly what products, categories and things to display it on.
So then I can select from a list of categories. You can actually see this list, which is good. So then I could just choose clothing. So only my clothing items will appear in this particular table. That's how it's set up. So if you're wondering about that, you can use these options here. First, choose the display option, add to a page using a block or shortcode, and then select specific products. And that's how you can choose even down to an individual product level or product type or anything like that, which things are going to be included in that table. And that can be really useful because you can display tables on product pages. So you could actually set up a product table with 3 add-on products for your main product. So you could sell like an iPhone, and then you could have the case, the headphones, and the screen protector set up in the table. And those things, I mean, probably you want to use our product options plugin for that, but hey, if you already have product table and you want to use it for something else, that's an option that you have. So yeah, that's how we do that. Now let's move on to our next question. Can I replace the price column with the stock quantity and replace the buy column with request a quote? Well, as we showed here, you can change columns and you can add new ones and you can rearrange them. So you have full flexibility to add any kind of columns that you need for your table. And if you're talking about requesting a quote, I would recommend the Yith Request a Quote plugin. We don't make this one, but we have a good relationship with the Yith plugin company, and they make a Request a Quote plugin that integrates with our plugins nicely. This is a blog article, by the way, where you can read more about that and how it works with our plugins. But in regards to changing out different columns, absolutely no problem. Just choose what you want, choose what order they go in. Maybe don't pick too many because it can get a little overwhelming for the sites, and anything on a smaller screen, it'll look too bunched up. But yeah, 5 or 6 columns, definitely no problem.
Yeah, and the stock column's quite nice because the stock column will display different information depending on your WooCommerce stock settings. So in your central settings, if you can either choose your stock to appear just as a status, like in stock, out of stock, on back order, or you can actually show the quantity remaining. So WooCommerce Product Table will just inherit your store-wide setting for that in its stock column.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to point out that there are even some really granular options here. So if you don't want this column to be called name, you could call it something else. Like you could call it product, or you could call it item, or whatever. There's lots of these little granular control things that you have. So you're not just stuck with the default name for a column, in case that's of interest to you. So when you say request a quote, it could say like ask for a quote or something else like that. All right, let's move on to another pre-submitted question.
So Michael wants to know, I'm wanting to produce a booking page with a simple, clean look, the cart on the side, and an Ajax update process. So do you think your plugins would be helpful in achieving this? So let's go through each part of that one by one. First of all, you want a booking page with a simple, clean look. That might be the booking page for an individual event, or it might be multiple events. If it's multiple events, I'd probably recommend using WooCommerce Product Table to display them, because that just feels a lot cleaner than having a grid with a big image for each event. You just want a simple table with like a date column and the event name and maybe some filters, and then people can choose an event. You would then want to use it with some sort of plugin for allowing them to choose a date. There are different ways to do that. With a WordPress events plugin, each date is a separate event. So I'd recommend the events calendar for that, which works with our plugins. Or if you just want to have, say, one product page which has a date picker, then you can actually do that in our WooCommerce Product Options plugin, because that has got a date picker field. Or if you wanted something more advanced that has like tickets and stuff that it actually issues to the customer, then you could use a plugin like WooCommerce Bookings, and they all work with WooCommerce Product Table. So let's go back to the question, because I think there were some other parts to it as well. So that's the simple, clean look. For the cart on the side, I would recommend our WooCommerce Fast Cart plugin, which displays not so much a cart on the side, because a sidebar can kind of take up a lot of space on the page. What it does instead is display a floating cart, which, when there's something in the cart, you can have it open straight away, so the customer can choose whether to check out straight away, which they can do within that pop-up. They don't have to go to the checkout page. Or you can have it just display a floating cart icon in the bottom right or bottom middle of the screen, and then they click on that. So either way, it's like probably better than having it in the sidebar, and achieves the same benefits.
Yeah,
And an
nice
Ajax
slide out.
update process. Well, that depends on the booking plugin you're using. If you're using WooCommerce Product Table and people can add the events directly from the product table, then that has Ajax add to cart. Otherwise, it would depend on your booking plugin. And I think that covers all the requirements, doesn't it? Yeah, so let's go to one link which you just put on the screen, so people can visit it. We have a blog post about how to use our plugins as an events list, basically. And so that talks about how to use it with event calendar and WooCommerce bookings, depending on what type of event you are taking bookings for.
I'm itching to get back to a couple of live comments, because we're nearing the hour mark on this stream, actually. So let's see if we can answer this question for Marty. I want to create a private section for members or subscribers, basically a paywall. I know that Barn2 has password protection, password protected categories, and private store options. So how do those plugins get linked to memberships or subscriptions? Can I sell memberships with your WooCommerce options, and that will have a time limit? There is some definitely some functionality in our plugins for this, but I wonder, Katie, if you wouldn't be better off going with a dedicated membership plugin and then adding something, as well from us. I don't know, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think our plugins are necessarily the best solution because of the specific requirements to link it with subscriptions. So our plugins are for hiding parts of your website, whether that's part of a WordPress website or a WooCommerce store. They don't allow you to sell subscriptions to access that content. So you could install WooCommerce subscriptions and use that to handle the subscriptions. But you would probably want to use it with something like WooCommerce memberships that to give them access, which would then be revoked when their subscription is cancelled, for example, or something like that. So I think they might be a better option, to be honest.
But I would like to give a quick shout out to Paid Memberships Pro. I think that they've got a great product, and they are running a flash sale this year on Cyber Monday. So if you want to check it out, I have the scoop that they're actually going to be offering 60% off for one day only on Cyber Monday. So I think it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Paid Memberships Pro is really good. It is an alternative to WooCommerce. So, because it is an e-commerce platform in its own right. So if your key priority is selling membership, yeah, that is probably the best option. If you need WooCommerce, then you can go for something WooCommerce focused, like WooCommerce memberships.
Yeah. And Janessa wanted to know, does Yith request a quote work with your discount manager? I think the simple answer is yes, but I haven't actually read this myself.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think we've ever tested that, to be honest. So
Mhm.
with request a quote, you select options, you select products, and you click add to quote, and then Yith creates a page listing your quote, which you can then submit. I don't know if that works with Discount Manager, to be honest, because it pushes the discounts through to the WooCommerce cart and checkout. But Yith have their own dedicated quote page, which is completely separate to that. So my guess is that it quite likely doesn't, which might require some custom integration work or something. But then if you're automatically calculating discounts, why are you requesting a quote and not allowing them to place the order immediately?
Well, I think
Maybe instead you could just get the pricing.
one possibility is if they're requesting, say, 3 items and they want to get a quote for buy 2 get 1 free, or buy 2 get 1 discounted 15% or something. But I think you could probably just set that up with your quotes, anyways.
Yeah, that's the thing. All of that logic you can do in Discount Manager. Or if you want to do really fancy logic on a specific product, like based on what options the customer selects for a custom configurator or something, then you can do WooCommerce Product Options with a price formula, which can be as advanced as you want. So Janessa has clarified it's for giant freight shipping items. So it's for really, really huge quantities. But why can't you automate that? Why have oftentimes they are customized? It's tricky. Yeah. I kind of feel it's either or, but you could even put something on the website, say for smaller quantities, order online, and you'd use a discount manager for that. For more than X quantity, contact us for a quote, or use Yith request a quote or something.
Now is a good time to remind you guys that our big Black Friday sale, is already on now. You can save 40% off all our plugins using the code BF2025. And you can visit any page, any plugin, and pop that code in, and that'll work. But if you're watching live, and I know some of you have already been waiting for this, then are we ready to give the details?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, awesome. So let's just hide the comment there and hide the banner.
So we said at the beginning that we would be doing a giveaway at the end where you can get a free Barn2 plugin. So the way that works is that as a thank you for watching our live stream, if you buy any of our plugins in our Black Friday sale between now and the 1st of December, then you can email us and get any of our other plugins for free, basically. So we're offering buy one, get one free. So all you need to do, buy a plugin, you will receive the usual email with your plugin attached and all of that. Once you've done that, reply to that email and just say that you'd like to take advantage of the offer in the live stream and get another plugin. And of course, you need to tell us which plugin you actually want as well. So I know that for several of the use cases today, we have recommended multiple Barn2 plugins. So if you need more than about 3, you may want to ignore this and buy the all access pass to save the most money. But if you want 2 plugins, then this is a good opportunity to buy one and get the other one for free. So yeah, just reply to the email and say that you watched it and which plugin you want.
And just to clarify, Katie, if they buy a bundle, which a lot of our plugins come in bundles anyways, they'll save money and they'll still get one more free plugin, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. So you
Mhm.
might buy, say, WooCommerce Wholesale Pro bundled with Product Table, because a lot of people do that. But maybe you also want our Discount Manager plugin
Mhm.
to add bulk discounts to your wholesale store, for example. So you would then reply to your purchase confirmation and say, I watched the live stream. Please, can I have a free copy of WooCommerce Discount Manager? And then we will send that to you.
Mhm. All right. And Wendy writes, wow, thank you. Awesome. And Jean says, thanks. So, yeah, guys, if you are purchasing a plugin during our sale this year, definitely send us an email and request a free one for yourself.
Yeah, this is interesting. Barbara says last year you had 50% off the all access pass. Yeah, nobody bought it.
Yeah.
We've done a different deal this year because we had lots of sales of the all access pass, but not using the live stream code. So we thought we'll do something different this year. So if you want that, then feel free to contact us. I'm sure we could do that again. But that's why we didn't change it.
Mm-hmm.
And Rory says 40% and buy one, get one free. Yeah, because you buy the first plugin in our Black Friday sale and then you get the second one free. So yeah, pretty good. So this is why we made you wait to the end. We reward you for watching.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of which, thank you all so much for watching. Our next live stream will be on Black Friday, and we will be answering more of your questions. And you can pre-submit those by going to our events page. So yeah, we look forward to catching you guys then. Do you have any other final comments for everyone, Katie?
No, I think we're done. If you think of any more questions for us, anybody, then feel free to contact our support.
Yep. So big news, 40% off. Email us, get a free plugin. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.